Welcome everyone to this video. In this one we're going to be driving the Viper Group 4 car at Kyoto Driving Park, Yamigawa. And this is one of the later races in the Manufacturers Cup. You guys may remember I was driving the Viper Group 3 car at Dragon Trail previously. And you can see I qualified here in 5th place. I was just behind, so close. This guy had 40.83, then it was a 40.85, and then I had a 40.86, so it was all very close up there. And actually my best time in practice was a 40.2, I want to say, so it was not as good as my best time in practice, but it's difficult. You want to kind of take it. I had a bit of a rough time in qualifying, actually. There was like nobody was giving anyone each other space, so I was trying to find a space, and then someone was trying to race me off the start, and it was just a pain. Like, I just had a horrible time in qualifying, so in the end I was just happy to settle for a good-ish lap. Anyway, I'd kind of hoped to race in quite a few of these races. I'd tried to get, it takes a minimum of 4 of your best races, or sorry, a maximum of 4 of your races, so I was kind of hoping to have at least got 4, but just because this was over the Christmas period and the New Year period, and then I moved back from Bristol to Devon where I'm at now, and I just basically life got in the way, so I didn't manage to race in as many races as I hoped. So unfortunately this is only the 2nd race. I was kind of hoping I'd try and get in the top 24 or something along those lines, but I think that's quite hard. But even so, that was kind of what I was going to try and get, but it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. So maybe in the next one we'll look at trying to get into that top 24. They've reduced it down to a 6-lap championship rather than a 6-race championship rather than a 10-race, which was, this one was a 10-race championship, so it was quite a big one. And maybe I'll sign for a different thing, or maybe I'll do the Nations Cup, I don't know. Anyway, I tell you what got me here. You see, I'm just going to nudge Feet Cross here, and I'm just going to let off so he can come back in front, because that was a pretty horrid little move. My thing that was getting me big time, and I do apologise to Feet Cross, because there was a couple of little incidents like that where I just tapped him. Nothing too serious, nothing too cynical, but just not very good driving from me. And it's because, I tell you what it was, if anyone watched that Samba Bus video, and I mentioned the fact that where the camera for the bumper camera is like on the windscreen, it's on the front of the windscreen. And because the Samba Bus ends at the windscreen, you can get right up close. So I was kind of used to that. Whereas in this car, again, the camera's on the front of the windscreen. So in front of the camera, there's like another, 2 meters of bonnet. It's got a really long bonnet, this car. So I wasn't quite used to that. And it was just like, it was a bit more cumbersome, I suppose, than I was expecting. So there was a few times where I just tapped him and just didn't put my car in particularly the right place. And it's just because I wasn't quite used to that. I kind of hope they might change it so that the camera is actually right on the front of the car. I don't know, maybe that, I'm not sure if that would be good. I suppose it's just something you've got to get used to. I should have just, you know, figured that out a little bit more carefully. Anyway, sadly, due to a little bump and then me letting off to let him go back in front, Happy Meal was able to catch up and make a cheeky little pass in the Audi TT. So I'm back down into 6th position. This lap was all about getting good exit speeds through the slow corners, so like this chicane here, you've got to get a good exit so you come up the hill, not too slowly. And again, getting a good exit out of turn 1 up the hill through the S's was really important, and straight lining those S's so you don't lose too much of your top speed. And then again, when you get to the top of the hill, coming back down the hill after that long left-hander, you want a nice, smooth, good exit speed. Yellow flag comes up here, and you'll see that P-Wax, what a name, is facing the wrong way, the Frenchman, and we all gain a position there, so happy days. Was a little bit scared, because it said yellow flag overtaken prohibited, but it seems like we all got through without a penalty, so I'm not really sure how that works. It seems like sometimes it will give you a penalty, and sometimes it won't, or I don't know. And then, down the left-hand side, gotta be overtake of the year. I know we're only just at the start of the year, but my goodness, that was some incredible driving. My line through that corner was come in quite wide, and then hit the apex mid-corner and accelerate nice and smoothly out. And Petrolero obviously took a narrower line, because I watched him throughout the race now that he was in front of me, and he tended to take a narrower line, which wasn't necessarily faster in general, but obviously makes use of that tiny little gap that I created, and like, damn, he made it look easy. It was very, very neatly done, so well done to him. And then a little bit of 3 wide there. It was a bit weird. I'm going to show this bit again so you can see Happy Meal gets nudged wide. I'm going to go down the middle, get a good run, and then Happy Meal just keeps on coming across and across, and he basically just shuts me and feet cross out there, so I don't know if he just didn't see me. Perhaps he might be driving an angle that didn't have a mirror, so he might not have seen that I had actually come up beside him there. Otherwise I think he should have stayed a bit further to the right, and it kind of screwed us both out of that corner, but never mind. He's going to go a bit further ahead. Me and feet cross are going to get stuck behind one another coming through here, and I'm just going to check behind there, and you'll see that there's a little group of 3 not too far behind. I've got quite a good run up on feet cross. I'm going to go up the outside of, I think it's called 135R here. The outside is not going to work too well, however what it is going to provide is a nice smooth exit and back into the slipstream. I'm going to get a run down the inside of feet cross. He's going to do some kind of like weird lag brake thing, which I just managed to avoid. And then braking, you'll see this Spaniard comes absolutely flying in. Don't know if he just missed his braking point or just decided, just saw red for a second, and he just absolutely bombs into that corner. However, works out pretty nicely for me because he rear ends me, pushes me through, and basically forces me to cut the chicane. There was nothing else I could do about it. But because he hit me, it didn't give me a penalty. So happy days, and that actually helped me get away from feet cross, because obviously I went way quicker than I should have done through there without a penalty. So actually worked out quite well. And coming out of that, I was about 1.5 seconds behind these guys, 3rd and 4th, Happy Meal and Petrolero. So we're going to fast forward here to the start of lap 7, where I actually finally managed to catch back up with these guys. Best lap so far with a 40.9. Again, I wasn't lapping really that well, but I tend to race more on the side of like consistency rather than like really pushing for fast laps and yeah, potentially crashing. Happy Meal goes out wide, very strange. Looked like he understeered wide. Weirdly, it looked like he almost got pushed out wide, but there isn't actually any contact. I did check it, there was no contact, so maybe there was a bit of lag or something, I don't actually know. Finally then, we're going to skip forward for the last time, where I get a good run out of the final chicane, end of lap 9, so coming into the last lap here. I'm right on the tail of Petrolero, the guy who made that excellent little overtake on me earlier on. Battling for 3rd place now. I'm going to come round the outside. He's going to brake quite late, so I'm going to look for the cutback. He's in the Scirocco, so he's going to understeer a little bit. That gives me a good opportunity. I'm going to come down the inside. Nice and clean, actually. Nicely too wide through there. I'm just going to be keeping an eye on where he is. This is actually captured live, this bumper cam footage. And he's just going to show me a little bit wide there on the second half of the S's. Was a bit disappointed about that. I'm not going to complain too much because it was, I think it was fair game, but he just came a little bit too wide and bumped me, and I did lose a bit of my speed, and so that gave him an opportunity to break away from me. However, I get a nice exit and back in the slipstream. The Vipers seem to be able to keep up with the Scirocco in the slipstream. I don't know if they've done a balance of performance update, but perhaps the Sciroccos and the Megans have been toned down just a little bit, which they should have been really. They were a little bit OP. Coming up the hill then, still last lap. I'm looking for any final chance here. I had that one chance early on the lap which was shut down. Any other chance here? He's going to go quite wide into 35R. I'm going to brake, look for a chance down the inside. It's not really going to present itself. Kind of got squeezed out there. Was a bit cheeky. Felt like that probably was not a legal move, so I'm just going to let off the throttle and see him back through into 3rd position. I thought that was only fair, really. Down into the chicane. He's actually going to run wide, so I thought, well, you know, fair play. I've given him a position back, but I'm not going to give it to him that easy. So he's going to make the mistake there. I'm going to look for the cutback. I know that I got pretty good enough speed to take him on the straight. However, my run was, I didn't get on the accelerator quite early enough to make it count. So I'm going to come back into the slipstream. Last lap down the straight. Is it going to be enough to make the overtake as we cross the line? Not quite enough. However, very close. I think I was about 0.5 tenth behind there. Very good little race. And I did enjoy that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to leave a like. That would be excellent. And I'll see you in the next video.